All right, and we're back with the program. It's Gerald Glasser coming right back at you here at the Pop Culture Cosmos. And it's that time again. Time for the man indeed to come back home to us right here at the Pop Culture Cosmos. It is my good friend indeed. You got to go ahead and check out everything that he's doing. I think RobMcCallumFilms.com is still available and tells you everything that you need to know, correct?
It'll redirect you to Zero Cool Films right now, but it's so easy to say Rob McCallum Films because I am Rob McCallum.
That's correct.
That's where you could go to find out everything about me. So there is a redirect to our fancy Zero Cool site. I don't know if you've checked out the new Zero Cool.
I did.
One of the last times we talked, you remarked about how nice it was, but we've since changed it.
Oh, you have? Okay.
To help push one of our latest releases that was featured on RollingStone.com. Of course, The Art of Protest was a really big release for us in October.
Which I have right now up on Facebook Live for everyone.
Oh, okay. There you go. Zero Cool is a little bit of a redefine. But yeah, you can find a lot of the stuff I've done. I think everything I've worked on so far is listed there under our catalog. So, but thanks for having me again. It's far too long. My schedule is finally starting to free up just a little bit with some stuff and getting filled with other stuff like these wonderful PR opportunities.
Always have things on the burner.
To sit and chat with you. Oh, if only you knew the stuff that is burning at the moment on the Rob McCallum stove.
That's correct. And I'm sure there's always something burning there. I don't always want to see it, but I know there's always something burning there.
You always want to see what I'm cooking, baby.
Okay. If you say so. I do want to give a big special shout out because we're on Retro City Games Facebook page to our great friends there, Doug and Nicole, your fellow producers of Box Art, the docuseries. Is that not correct?
Yeah, video game box art. The stories behind the covers. It's myself, Doug and Nicole. We were the folks that spearheaded it. And so happy Thanksgiving to you guys. Hope you're doing well with the whole fam jam.
Yes.
And yeah, good to be in touch.
I have not seen Doug and Nicole in quite a long time because of obvious reasons. 2020, we'll just say it. We'll keep it at that. And I miss them dearly. I've only gone by the store a few times this year, and I do miss frequenting that store, both stores, quite a bit. And just to tell you what, they're trying to get through small business. Please support them as best you can. They're having a great Black Friday sale, just let everyone know that. Yes, so always a great annual thing. So please stop by there this weekend and support small business and, of course, our friends at Retro City Games. But also they need to support you, my friend, if you're based in Canada and you get the awesome Ginx E-Sports TV Canada, because why, Rob?
Well, it's a very exciting time because on Ginx E-Sports TV, which is part of the Super Channel umbrella of networks, on December 2nd at 7:30 p.m. nationwide, you will see the world premiere of Action Figure Adventure Episode 1 and a subsequent replay at 10:30 p.m. It's a long time coming, but we're excited to finally have our world premiere of our much anticipated series, our spiritual successor to Nintendo Quest in many ways. Gerald, you've had a look at Episode 1 for a while now.
I have.
We pushed that towards you to have a gander, and at some point we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to ask you. Right after the show that airs this coming December 2nd on Ginx, how about you and Jay getting together with me, and we'll go ahead week by week or whatever's convenient for you guys to go ahead and break down episode by episode, if that's okay. We'll spend only 10, 15 minutes. You want just a little short period of your day? How would that work out for you?
Well, let's sit and talk about what we can do.
Maybe do one time and we can bracket it off from there.
Well, maybe. There's so much of the world that isn't going to have access to it. This is very much a Canada-only thing right now. And with your huge reach on Pop Culture Cosmos and a very large American contingent and loyal following, I'd hate to spoil it all for them. I'd hate to get into some of the nitty-gritty of the reveal. When, we're still working on a very big, exciting U.S. premiere release announce date, which I hope we can share soon. But for now, this is a very much a Canadiana only thing.
Okay. Well, we do have to get together and talk about the episodes in detail because I have taken a gander at them per se, but I will go ahead and share my thoughts on that with you at that time with both you and Jay there, because I want to hear Jay's reaction. In fact, Jay he's gone and done his YouTube channel. He's obviously started stuff with you, which actually debuted as far as recently on the Pop Culture Cosmos channel, was your toy show that you and Jay do. So tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, the Jay and Rob Toy Show, as you said, just premiered on Pop Culture Cosmos, and we were spinning it on some other platforms as well. But, you know, it was a chance for Jay and I to sit down and actually talk toys, because as much as we got to do with the series together, we didn't really have a chance to enjoy it as buddies do. So this is our chance to step back and talk about the culture, what's going on in the collecting community, what's going on in toy news, past and present, and where we're at with all that, plus addressing, you know, topics that come up from time to time, vintage or new, do you collect loose, complete, and of course answering so many questions from people that you know, follow us and want us to regard or share opinions on anything that comes their way. So we're happy to address that too. So we are a few episodes deep now in the Jay and Rob Toy Show. It is a fun promotional vehicle for everything action figure adventure and everything we're doing. Like you mentioned, Jay's YouTube show, where he primarily does figure reviews. And it's just a good time. It's just two buddies talking toys, having fun, ribbing each other just a little bit. I know you're thinking, really, Rob, needle somebody? No, never.
That never happens.
This is true. This is very true. And of course, there's lots of, you know, memories and moments. And I mean, Jay and I have been friends for 35 plus years now. 38, 37 years, somewhere in there. So
something like that.
We've got a lot of shorthand when it comes to, you know, getting under each other's skin and pushing the buttons. But, you know, it's just a fun time to hang out with friends. And, you know, when you listen to our program, the Jay and Rob Toy Show, you're going to feel like you're just in the room talking toys and anything collectible. So it's a good time. You should really check it out, whether it's on the Pop Culture Cosmos or wherever else you listen to podcasts, and even on YouTube too.
Absolutely. First off, the Jay and Rob Toy Show, you know, like you said, you're a few episodes in, but we're going to be lagging a little bit behind because of all the stuff that we go ahead and push. But I want to go ahead and tell everybody, first place you go is obviously wherever the Jay and Rob Toy Show is out on podcast world, whether it's Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. But if you want to go ahead and catch it in a delayed format, we're obviously going to be showing and playing great episodes on the Pop Culture Cosmos channel as well.
Yeah, the cool thing about it being on the PCC is Gerald gets to handpick the kind of best moments. I don't even know if you're going to play the whole episode, if you're going to make your audience endure such maniacal mayhem from Jay and Rob, but you can check it out on YouTube as well, because we end every show with a bit of a figure showcase when we don't know what each other is going to show, and we kind of build it up and kind of do a fun reveal. So that's given it's a visual thing. Check it out on YouTube as well. So, or Patreon. We just started a Patreon as well. Could be an episode sponsor. You could have priority questioning. You could come on our live stream and chat with us. Be a part of the whole group. You know, sit at the table with Jay and Rob if you dare. You dare. Come on, be a part of it. You got it.
You know he's in fine form when he goes ahead and is in full pitch mode. It is my good friend, Mr. Rob McCallum. Please check.
You missed it.
I missed it. I missed it indeed. Well, you helped build this thing, man. Pop Culture Cosmos.
So am I finally getting my due? Okay.
You did. You did the other day for PCC Multiverse 200. We actually paid a lot of homage to you, my friend, during the course of the episode with PCC Multiverse 200. That's coming out. Well, actually, as we record this, coming out tomorrow. But we did pay a lot of homage to you as far as your imprint on PC Multiverse. So we do appreciate everything that, and the Pop Culture Cosmos, obviously helping create the little logo that everybody sees, and the little dude, and everything going on there with the name and all that. But I wanted to get into what you're going on with Action Figure Adventure itself, and that's, I mean, it's just. Please describe to everyone out there how big this is as far as it hitting such a large network. Again, nationwide in Canada, that's nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, it's a really big deal. Super Channel and Ginx E-Sports TV, they've been really huge supporters of everything I've done. They picked up Nintendo Quest right away, subsequently Nintendo Quest Power Tour, video game box art, stories behind the covers. They were the first to premiere that, and they jumped on board the second I pitched them. And even before we were done Action Figure Adventure, I showed them a trailer, gave them a rough episode synopsis of what I thought the episodes would be cut into. And they bought into it because they know the kind of content I can create. They know it's fun, and they know it's a fast-paced, lively show that can appeal to anybody, and not just the diehards that are of the very, focused niche part of the target audience that I tend to go after. If you've seen Nintendo Quest, it's a film that's much more than just Nintendo. There's a very large human element to that. So with Action Figure Adventure, it's the same thing. Sure, we're talking toys, we're talking collectibles and going in and out of shops, but there's a huge human element to it, because at the stake, at the core of this entire series, is Jay on a personal mission to go and hunt down the coolest, biggest, most rare action figures of all time and put them in what he calls the ultimate action figure auction. He's fronting the cash, and however the auction does, the difference goes to help kids at the Children's Health Foundation. So it's a selfless mission. We're on the road for, again, thousands of miles across a 6-month period thereabouts. And who knows what we're going to run into? Who knows what obstacles, what friends, allies, foes? It's another road trip that you can't write. And just like Nintendo Quest, truth is stranger than fiction. Some incredible stuff happens along the way. We meet incredible people. I am so proud of the series that we're able to create this time. And everybody that has watched Nintendo Quest, thank you for your support for so many years now at this time. We wouldn't have got to Action Figure Adventure if it wasn't for your support. But Action Figure Adventure takes it up a notch on every level. The story, the camaraderie, the collectibles, the in-depth detail, the technical sophistication in which we package and put this thing together. It is fun. And it is engaging, and you're going to be rooting and on the edge of your seat. And I promise you, at the end of every episode, you'll be like, oh, where's the next episode? Why do I got to wait another week for this? It's kind of by design and on purpose, but that's what we want. We want you left wanting some more. And I guarantee when you check this out, you're going to love it. And you're going to be a fan of toys. You're going to think back to how you used to play in your favorite toys. And you're probably going to go to your hometown and check out your local shop when it's safe. Call them up, do some curbside, see if they'll ship something to you, because you probably have that iconic piece that when you were young that touched you in that special spot in your heart. You're like, yeah, I do love Castle Grayskull. I think I kind of got room on my shelf for that. Or, man, it'd be really cool to have Storm Shadow again, just on my bookshelf. Because, man, that when I had that and when I played with that, those were my formative years, and boy, was that a good time. And that's what the series is about. Revisiting those times, using that energy, and bringing people together.
Now, like you've said before, this is a spiritual successor to Nintendo Quest, something that I know you still to this day are well known for, but also share a great deal of pride in. And you talked about bringing everything up a notch here. One thing, though, because, again, this is 2020, it's been harder to go ahead and not only share the word of how good Action Figure Adventure is, and I've already seen some bits and pieces of it, and I'll say you could be right on that. You could be very much right. But I wanted to ask you this, my friend, when it comes to actually, just getting it out to an audience, it's quite different this time around, because the last time with Nintendo Quest, although, again, there's other great projects that Rob has done. So please check out zerocoolfilms.com, and you can check out his entire library that he's done in between. But when it comes to Nintendo Quest, you did the entire nationwide tour. You were going to theaters. You were here in Las Vegas when you were showing in Las Vegas. I remember how nervous you were at the back of the auditorium. Yeah, you were. Don't you get? No. I was watching the movie, and I was watching you sitting in the back, standing in the back, nervous.
I was putting on a show for you. I was playing it up.
I'm sure you were. But tell me about how unique this is because of what's gone in 2020, about how you're approaching getting this awesome project to an entire audience.
Well, in some ways, it's easy to compare Nintendo Quest to Action Figure Adventure. It's Jay on a quest. I'm behind the scenes, kind of, corralling the rodeo. But in other ways, they are very different beasts. People had asked, what would I do differently, if I could do Nintendo Quest over again? And one thing that came to mind right away when I was making Nintendo Quest is, boy, this could really work as a series. I think that this could work as a series. And we had an internal discussion about it. It was like, no, let's keep it a 90-minute film. Let's not bite off more than we can chew, especially for like our first big pop culture doc. So we kept it as a 90-minute film. And because it was a 90-minute film, it was easy to take to cities as a singular experience, to go theater to theater. action figure adventure from the get-go. Because of Power Tour, the subsequent follow-up to Nintendo Quest, where we went theater to theater and filmed what that was like, taking the finished film around the country, and of course Jay and I ribbing each other, collecting along the way. Because of Power Tour and the experience I had with that action figure adventure from day one, I said, okay, this is going to be a series. So when you choose to make a series, you can't showcase it in a 90-minute to 2-hour setting like you can a theatrical film. It's different. I could tour the first, 3 episodes maybe, but then it's like, it doesn't really get to it. There's no big reveal. There's no big payoff because there's such cliffhangers. It's episodic television, right? You lead into the next one. It's serialized. And it's funny that you bring this up. And as I'm talking this, one of my broadcast requirements for Ginx E-Sports TV in Canada was to give them a theatrical cut, a 2-hour version of it. And, I don't love it. There are certain parts that I think, that's an interesting way to compress that. But overall, I don't like it because it's not a fun experience compared to the series, which allows you to get a little bit more in depth. It's cool for what it is, but you don't get to spend as much time with as much people. There's a lot of scenes that are cut out to fit that runtime. So
it sounds like a little bit different than what this HBO Max is doing with the Snyder Cut, where they've asked him to go ahead. Well, actually, he's probably also, obviously given some input and spaced it out. This 4.5 hour movie that he's spacing it out over episodes. They're asking you, outside of not just going ahead and making episodes, asking you, I shouldn't say making you, but contractually obligating you to go ahead and make a 2-hour movie. That's kind of peculiar.
Well, they when we were figuring out what the deal could be, I said, well, okay, let's see what we can do. First, it's a 10-episode series. I'll record some promo bits that tease what happens on the episode coming up. You can play that on social media and on broadcast to let people know what's happening on episode 2, 3, and so on. And then another component was that Jay and I would do roundtable discussions after each episode, where we would sit and kind of break down what happened and what was going through our minds as the events unfolded. And then the last thing I said, well, what about like a feature-length version of the series, something that you could have in a 2-hour run slot? And they said that would actually be super helpful because they can lend it to their ancillary networks like Super Channel that doesn't have a series-based or a strong kind of pop culture audience, but could fit it in a 2-hour slot. So it's something that I will revisit on future deals because I don't feel that it's necessarily the best move for the content, but I do think it's good and reflective. It's just a really quick snapshot of what happened in the entire journey. Going on the journey, it's honestly the coolest thing is it really proves, the journey is more important than the destination. The 2-hour version, you get to the end and you see what happens, but you don't appreciate how you got there in the same way that you do when you watch all 10 episodes. That's true.
Like I said, I'm looking forward for your success with this on Ginx Esports Television all across Canada, and I'm really happy for you on that. It looks like it's something that's going to blow up, hopefully just as well as Nintendo Quest did for you way back when. My gosh, it's been so long. 5+ years now, my friend.
Since it came out, but 7 since we shot.
Yeah.
We shot Nintendo Quest in 2013, so I mean everybody's only been exposed to it for 5 years or more recently.
I met you, I think, in 2014, the year after when you were starting to promote it and telling us about this great thing, and I sat you down.
Yeah.
We were at one of the conventions here in town that runs here. Yeah, I remember. So, yeah, I got somebody actually. I think it was Chris who was with us at Game Stars. Hey, I got this director guy. He wants to talk about his project. Yeah, bring him over. We'll go ahead and talk about it. And my gosh, my life has changed ever since.
Yeah, you have chronic back issues from carrying cinder blocks now at this point because of that first interview.
2 herniated discs to be exact, but we won't go there.
But who's counting?
But who's counting, indeed. But it is my good friend, Mr. Rob McCallum. Please check out everything that he's doing today at zerocoolfilms.com. Also, if you are in the beautiful country of Canada, I'm not going to say, Canada, but it would probably, just break something if I did. But if you're in the beautiful country of Canada, please go ahead and check out Ginx Esports Television because on December 2nd, it is Action Figure Adventure.
And here's a cool little tidbit for you, too. You can get a free 7-day trial of Super Channel and Ginx Esports TV if you sign up. You can sign up through Amazon, too. It's listed as an Amazon channel in Canada, so that's an easy way to access it with all your Apple TV and Roku and Fire Stick devices and whatnot. So instead of trying to figure out where this is and how to do it, that's a really, really convenient way to do it. And because they got that 7-day free trial, You know, you get to check out at least one episode, maybe two, depending on when you sign up for it, to figure out what's going on. And to be honest, it's a worthwhile service.
Absolutely. It seems like it indeed. So I'm so excited for you, my friend.
What are you going to tease about this series? Don't wrap this up. I want to hear your tease, your little promotion for the series. It always comes better from you than me. I want to hear it.
I'll just say all the episodes are there for you when it comes out. It is well worth the wait. I know a lot of people have been very excited. You know, they've been talking at you left and right, been shouting message out on you, going ahead of social media.
You've been seeing some of that, have you?
Oh yeah, it comes my way. Helps when you're part of the page editors that are there, and you see that flying by in and out. It's like, hey Rob, when's it coming out, man? When's it coming out? I will tell you this: it is definitely worth the wait. And I just implore anybody who can get a hold of this, as far as Ginx E-Sports TV, go ahead, please. They need to go ahead and check it out. It is just highly recommended by me. I think it's a great start. It's a great spiritual successor. As you said.
It was my phrase. It's just it's much easier for people to wrap their heads around it, since so many people seem to know Nintendo Quest now.
Because I know ever since I've known you and the success of Nintendo Quest, everybody's always talking about, hey, this, when you're going to do it, ad nauseum. That seems to be the first question. Everybody, when you're going to make a sequel?
When's the next one?
Yeah, when is Nintendo 64 Quest, or when's PlayStation Quest, or when's Genesis Quest, or Dreamcast Quest, or something like that. I'm sure somebody's hitting you up all the time with it. And I'm not going to say you haven't thought about it, but again, you wanted to go, like you said, into a completely different direction. But still yet hold true to that whole synopsis of Nintendo Quest and what made it fun.
Yeah, I mean, I guess to answer your indirect question of why go this way instead of Nintendo Quest and what prompted that, I had a couple conditions in order to do any kind of sequel, and that was one, that it had to be drastically different, or it'd be a parody of the originator, and therefore probably lesser as a result, a lesser product as a result. Two, I didn't want it to be self-serving. Nintendo Quest, it's Jay going after his dream, and while that's good, following somebody around for X number of weeks or months so that they can have something on their shelf, it doesn't do it for a second time. Not when that's the dream the first time. You can't have the same dream twice. Even if the dream doesn't come true, it just doesn't hold true. So when this became about helping other people and using all our resources to help those that need it the most, that was the biggest thing. And action figures was something that we've always loved from the beginning. I mean, I made Power of Grayskull with my collaborators up here. So to look at Nintendo Quest and Power of Grayskull, you can see the genesis of all the stuff I love and how it's resulted in action figure adventure.
But when you go into something different as far as pop culture, whether it was covering your wife's band, whether Kitty, or whether it's covering any aspect of pop culture, or even Missing Mom and how good a project that was, because I've given you a glowing review on that one. That was really something people need to check out as far as Missing Mom. You have a certain enthusiasm about those projects. Like, I can sense it now, even in our conversation today, about how enthusiastic you are for action figure adventure. Had you just gone knee deep into a Nintendo 64 Quest, I'm not sure you would have been able to recapture that magic. Like you said, it's just going back to it. And I'm not sure yourself, as such a driven person, would have been able to find that enthusiasm to make that just as special.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard, because also the thing at the heart of both Nintendo Quest and action figure adventure is the friendship I have with Jay. As we said, it's 35 plus friends? Years. It's true. I mean, not anymore. Not after a second film together. No. For PR purposes, yes, we're great friends. Yes.
Okay. Cool.
But I mean, that alone, having a chance to hang out, being surrounded by the stuff that we love and have always loved, but together, and to explore a real life story, a current chapter with these things that help shape who we are. It's a really cool, magical moment. So, would I do N64 Quest and would I enjoy it? I would find ways to enjoy it, I'm sure, because I'm kind of optimistic like that. And I think there's always collecting in general, whether it's stamps, coins, action figures, or video games, there's always those rare pieces. There's always those interesting stories. Where am I going to find it? What's it going to be worth? What am I going to do to acquire the thing? All those big questions with collecting are always going to be there, regardless of the medium you're going after. And to do that with a friend like Jay, and of course to get under his skin like Jay, with me at the control panel, pushing the right buttons at the right times, that's like irresistible. So anytime that we can get together and do the stuff we love to do, it's always good fun. But when you take yourself and your ego and the things out of the equation, and you just look at the things, on the shelf and what the audience is going to say, would they enjoy N64 Quest as much as Nintendo Quest? Are we offering them something new or something more different? Am I taking, my duty as a filmmaker, as an artist, to say something different with this than the other one? Probably not. I'm probably just enjoying it because I like to do stuff with my friend. Action figure adventure, sure, I'm enjoying it. I'm having fun.
N64 Quest, it'd be like in colon, J torture.
Yeah, there you go.
But that's the only thing. I mean, if you ever decide to go back to it, you would have to have that enthusiasm for the project again. And I'm not sure if you could ever do that. Maybe you could, but there is time. Time is something
I'll be honest. There's a lot of video game topics I'm really considering as of late in terms of the documentary world. It's funny because you said, you've been asked ad nauseum, when is Nintendo Quest 2 coming, Super Nintendo Quest, Genesis Quest. The thing I get asked more, especially as of late within the last 6 months, has been, I have an idea for a documentary. I want to go collect games, and I want you to come fulfill me as I collect my games, and here's my spin on it. Here's my collecting spin and why it's different. And it's like, okay, that's cool that you want to be the J. And it's not that their spins aren't worthwhile or anything, but to me, I don't have that friendship there. So that idea and that spin better be really compelling. And boy, you better...
It's just you filming him, and it's not that banter, because that's what makes Nintendo Quest as special as it does, is because that you can feel that connection that you two have had and that you built a lifetime towards.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing. You can't fake that. You can't replicate that. It's just different. Like, and again, I've heard some really interesting spins, but, I'm not going to give blood, sweat, and tears for free to film your collecting mission. It's cool, but it's not that cool. Not yet anyways. And would I do N64 Quest? Yeah. I'm hoping stuff like Patreon that we've set up for the Jay and Rob Toy Show, if we get enough per month or if we get enough backers, we can do stuff that doesn't have to go to broadcast, and we don't have to spend, tens and tens of thousands of dollars creating stuff and hitting all the check marks, that we get to create something just for our community. So if you want to see Genesis Quest or you want to see Super Nintendo Quest, find a way to support us. And if the money and time and resources are there, we'll go and do it.
You know what Why you need not? To do now? Well, you know what you actually really need to do now?
What do I got to do?
You need to do Xbox Series or PlayStation 5 Quest, because that's a big quest right now for anybody trying to get their hands on one.
Well, of course, Jay has one.
Of course. Yeah. Well, Jay had those inside, he has those inside knowledge, inside, connections.
Well, when you're good, you don't let anything go to chance.
There you go. There you go, indeed. But it is my good friend, Mr. Rob McCallum. You got to go ahead and check out everything that he's doing, or his entire library of films, at one place, zerocoolfilms.com. Showing it right now to everybody on Facebook Live. You see it right there. All his stuff that he's done, The Art of Protest, Action Figure Adventures coming up, video game box art, obviously Nintendo Quest, and so much more. Power of Grayskull, which I truly enjoyed. That was on. Is that still on Netflix by any chance?
It's still on Netflix for a while.
Yeah, so there you go. It is, again, Mr. Rob McCallum. Please check out what he's doing and everything that he's up to. Not only there at Zero Cool Films, but also on Facebook at Action Figure Adventure. Or, please, you need to go ahead, ask the major pitch man that's even better than I am at shamelessly plugging things. Please tell everybody where you're at social media.
It's really easy. At Rob McZob on Twitter, and now on TikTok, Gerald. I'm on TikTok, talking the tick.
There you go. I'm going to have to TikTok there because we're on TikTok as well. So I'm going to have to go ahead and TikTok your TikTok and no TikTok.
You should check it out, because anybody that is a huge retro gamer, one thing that I've been doing in the TikTok format, because it's different. It's not like all these other written-based mediums. I've been showcasing minute-long speed runs. So classic retro games from beginning to end in 1 minute.
There
Compressed.
you go.
And it's really interesting to see that all the way through and not take up too much of your day.
There you go. That's all it takes. 1 minute of your time, folks. So check out Rob on social media. Check out zerocoolfilms.com. And also, December 2nd on Ginx E-Sports TV in Canada. If you're in Canada, you got to check this out. There is no excuse, especially like you said with the 7-day trial. That's free. Free. It is Action Figure Adventure. My friend, it's been great as always talking to you. I cannot thank you enough for spending some time with me here today. But any last thoughts on the way out?
It's just a real exciting time for me with Kitty live at the London Music Hall getting released 2 weeks ago on iTunes, Amazon, and all your other favorite digital platforms. Action Figure Adventure getting released December 2nd, and Video Game Box Art, the stories behind the covers, getting a wider release in the coming months. There is a lot going on for me, and it's cool to just slow down. Sure, of course, shamelessly promote some of this stuff, but just sit and talk and push your buttons a little bit too.
It's never cool for you when it slows down. Idle hands for you is never a good thing.
I don't disagree. And I can't wait to tease the next thing that's coming. We should have a promo for it soon.
I'll be glad to hear it, my friend. I'll be glad to see it. And I can't wait for it. It is Rob McCallum, zerocoolfilms.com. Well, my friend, it's always great talking to you on today's show. I cannot thank you enough for being part, once again, right here at the Pop Culture Cosmos.